Hello, you lovely, lovely ladies. Is anybody joining me on this fantastic Friday? Whoop, whoop, Friday! Let me know if you're watching. I don't want to sit here talking to myself. How do I get rid of that little bit there? There, that's better. So as you can see, I'm sitting here in the car and I have just had a little bit of a disaster. Hi, Caris. Happy Friday. Hi, Katie. I don't know why I'm so happy. Hi, Lauren. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Paula. What a privilege, Paula. Thank you for joining me. I've had a nightmare. Right. One of the nice things about being a community midwife is you get to go out and about and experience some beautiful countryside. So I've parked myself up, and just because it feels so peaceful here, let me show you my view. Let me just put my windscreen wipers on so you can see. Right, so this is, can you see? It's really quite pretty here, but I've had a bit of a mare because I thought, well, I'll treat myself today, get me flask, and I was going to proper be leisurely and have a nice cup of tea with you. And I thought, where am I going to put it? I haven't got a posh enough car for one of those little, cup holders. So look what's happened. That's my cup of tea down there. So I put it down there on my diary, nice, safe, stable platform for it. And then I went and kicked it over, didn't I? So my tea, that's it. No tea for me. Anyway, how are you all doing? Hi, Olo. Hi, Hamera. How are you all today? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I'm on call today and I'm, heck. Oh, there's a wagon pulled up looking at me like I shouldn't be parking here. It's not his road. Lancaster County Council. I hope he's not going to shout at me for parking here, is he? Right, if anything happens and I get shifted on, I don't think I'm in someone's private drive. I'm pretty sure I'm not. Hello, Hara. Gonna make myself a raspberry leaf tea now. Oh, I wish I could have a tea. I've chucked mine all over my car. It's a good job it's knackered. Hi, Claire. How are you today? I want to say this morning, but we're gone 12:30, haven't we? So if anything happens, if the connection drops out or something like that, what I'll do is I'll just drive a bit further up the road and then I'll do it again. So hopefully we can get through these bits and pieces. It's not ideal when I'm in the car, but I did still want to do it just because it's nice to check in with you. And it's nice for us. It makes me feel really a lot more connected. And I'm just really struggling lately with the... Hara! It's evening here in Phil. Where are you, Hara? Where are you? Tell me where you are. Have I gone worldwide? Have I gone viral yet? Anyways, right. I have to entertain myself somehow, don't I, while I'm out and about. I've done some visits this morning. And I just wanted to have a quick chat with you about food and nutrition. So a lot of you will be perfectly aware that I've been bombarding you with cookery stuff. Oh, Philippines. Oh, thank you, Hara, for joining us. I bet it's nicer weather in the Philippines than it is here. It's a bit grey and rainy, but we can't complain because we've got some beautiful colours, autumn colours to look at. Anyway, so you'll notice that I've really bombarded you with lots of foodie stuff and lots of recipes. Because I knew that I was hoping to plan live this afternoon just about food and nutrition. And a lot of us think that we know so much about food and nutrition and how we should nourish our bodies. But I think all of us are guilty of just conveniently forgetting, might I add, because there's so many nice things to eat in the world that aren't as good for us. And this is hopefully going to be a good reminder for you of the things that we want you to try and eat more of. Right, so I've got my little checklist to go through, so hopefully I can get through everything. So why care about diet in pregnancy? Why should you even care? You're going to put weight on, you're going to carry a lot of water. Some women might think that they're not attractive and they just think, well, I'm just going to enjoy my pregnancy and I'm going to eat loads of cakes and chocolate and not care and have loads of fast food because I'm going to worry about losing my weight after I've had my baby. And there's a problem with that sort of thinking straight away, just because it's not really, so midwives are not really, we think you're all beautiful. Women, I think, are beautiful creatures. They've got beautiful curves. They're by far the nicer aesthetic looking out of the two sexes. Women are beautiful. They've been depicted in paintings as being beautifully curvaceous beings all through the art ages. And midwives think you're beautiful, whatever shape and size you are. But the thing that we're interested in is that you're nourishing your body, and that eating healthily will keep you well in pregnancy. Hi Glenda, hi Rebecca. Nice of you to join me. I can see my feed here, so I can see who's watching me. So what we want to do is keep you, it's our job to keep you healthy in pregnancy, and diet is a huge factor in that. So hopefully I can go through some of the things that we talk about to you in pregnancy, some of the things you should be eating, some of the things that you want to avoid, and where you can find extra information. So also as well, I was thinking back to when I was pregnant, and I think your body behaves a little bit differently when you're pregnant to when you're not pregnant. Mine certainly did. And I was working for a car rental company at the time, so I was doing a lot of driving around, and I remember having to pull in really quickly at a service station to get a chocolate bar because all of a sudden I'd got the shakes and I was starving hungry. And I felt that my blood sugars dropped really low, and I felt I need something to eat. So a lot of you ladies might experience that happening, where you feel that you need to eat really straight away and you get hungry. But now that I've learned more about food, I recognise that my blood sugars were probably not low at all, because I'm not diabetic and, you know, I've never had any problems. But the problem is I think in pregnancy, I was just quick and easy, snacking. I probably ate a really, really sugary breakfast. So one of the problems with eating a really, really sugary breakfast is once you've burnt off that energy, you know, your body's blood sugars drop quite quickly after that. We've all heard of having a sugar high, but the problem with a sugar high is after the sugar high's gone, left your body, your blood sugars start to return to normal. So it's not that they're going too low sometimes, it's just that your body's feeling that rapid fall in blood sugars. So that's what makes you sensitive and go, I need to eat. So the trick of avoiding that feeling your blood sugars dropping is to not get them quite so high in the first place. So one of the problems that we always find is in cereals. What you want to be doing is avoiding the really high sugar cereals. You've only got to look down the cereal aisle at the supermarket, and to be honest, it's hard to find a cereal that's not jam-packed full of sugar. And the reason they're jam-packed full of sugar is it makes them taste nice and people buy them. But that's not necessarily what's best for you. The people who make the cereal want you to buy them. So, you know, very often that's why they add a lot of sugar. And as we all know, or you should know, sugar is addictive. Oh my goodness, there's a tractor over there cutting the edge. I hope you can't hear it. The joys of country life. So I've lost my thread now. Let me have a think. So the cereals you buy in the supermarket, any of them that are frosted, chocolate covered, chocolate pillows, chocolate this, chocolate that, I would urge you to have a look, even if you're just buying them for your children. The children are vulnerable to the same sort of sugar high, sugar low. And, you know, you want to give them something for the breakfast that's going to keep them going till lunchtime. Hi, Maria. Hi, Claire. Hi, Mara. Hi. Give me a little wave. So, the cereals, start having a look on the back of cereal packets, and you will see, and if you start looking a bit further into it, how much of that daily allowance is it giving you in that cereal, you might be a little bit shocked. Because I always thought, well, cereal, they're selling chocolate cereal, so that must be what you're supposed to eat for your cereal, you know. But trying even things like cornflakes, I've tasted them and I can tell they're a whole lot sweeter than they ever used to be when I was a kid. When I was a kid, you used to add sugar to them because you didn't think they were sweet enough. But over the years, more and more sugar seems to have been added to things, and it's not. Refined sugars are just not good for you. So what we need to do is find other nutrients that will nourish your body. And you know, sometimes when we eat all the wrong sorts of foods, it just makes you feel tired and weary. So some of those foods are not all, some like things like, if you're just eating fast food all the time, you know, it wouldn't surprise me that would make you feel really sluggish in the afternoon and tired, because there's just no nutrients in lots of them. Okay, so in pregnancy, it's really important to eat a healthy diet and not pile on excessive amounts of weight, because that then puts you more at risk of lots of other complications. And it, you know, because when you go into labour, or if you're having a section, because it's hard work giving birth and it's hard work having a new baby. So if you're fit, everything's just so much easier. Hi Teresa, hi Emma. I'm back again, somebody tried to ring me. So hi Rachel, how are you this afternoon? Always coming with his edge cutter. It's real life, isn't it? So it's really important that you know, don't think I'm just going to pile on loads of weight because I'll lose it afterwards, because it's just harder afterwards. And if you eat healthily, you'll feel so much better as well. And I think, you know, what do I think? Don't know. Let me have a look at my notes. Yeah, so when you're pregnant, you need the nutrients more than ever. So if you imagine the saying, we are what we eat, then you're growing a baby, you know. You want that baby to have the best of the nutrients. And so hopefully I can go through some of the things that we recommend as supplements in pregnancy. So midwives will recommend you take folic acid if you're thinking that you're going to get pregnant before you conceive, and certainly the folic acid is really helpful up to 12 weeks pregnant. And we also recommend that you take vitamin D all the way through your pregnancy, and that's because we just don't get enough sunshine in this country. And when it does come out, you know, it's helpful just to get a little bit on your arms, but not burn. So some of those things as well. And one of the things midwives often talk about is iron. Hi Suzanne. I haven't seen you for ages, Suzanne. Are you well? Hopefully. You all right? So one of the things midwives talk about in pregnancy a lot is iron. And when, especially in this area, we do booking bloods and we do a full blood count so we can see what your hemoglobin levels are. And then we repeat that blood test again at 28 weeks as a routine blood test. Now, we definitely recommend that you take iron if your hemoglobin level is 105 or less. Most people's are. But if you're lucky enough and you've got a much higher hemoglobin, say 135 or better than that maybe, you know, if you've got a good hemoglobin at the beginning of your pregnancy because you've been eating really healthily, that's fab. But usually, or very, very commonly, in pregnancy, by the time we take the full blood count at 28 weeks, that hemoglobin level just naturally drops, and we kind of expect it to drop in pregnancy because you're working so hard to build a baby, or grow a baby. So sometimes what can happen is your hemoglobin level can drop a little bit. And even though, so say it started off as 135, so if it's dropped to 115, for example, that's still what we class as within normal range. However, you might start feeling quite tired because your body is recognizing that hemoglobin drop is a drop from what's normal for you. So that's why it's really, really helpful for you in pregnancy if you don't want to take an iron supplement, and there is iron usually in the pregnancy multivitamins that you buy, which are good. So if you try and incorporate some of these things into your diet, then you hopefully we can keep that hemoglobin level as high as possible in preparation for labour and birth. So iron, things in, you'll find iron in fortified cereals, lots of them, but make sure you check out the sugar content. I'm good, thank you. Hi, Suzanne. Glad to hear it, mate. So you'll find iron in lots of fortified cereals. You'll find them in green leafy veg. A big winner every time, spinach. So you can buy organic baby leaf spinach in the supermarkets, just with the rest of the salad stuff. But I didn't really like it at first, but the baby spinach, it seems to be a bit more delicate, and you can just use it like salad leaves, or I use the spinach leaves to put the avocado on, and then when you've seen me make the salmon and the pumpkin seeds on top. Spinach is a good thing. Just put a few leaves with loads of things. You can even have a few spinach leaves with a hot meal like your cottage pie or something like that. You can put spinach leaves with everything. Remember Popeye? How good was it for Popeye? So if you've never tried it, try spinach, and if you've had it and you like it, eat more of it. It's really good for you. Also iron, you can find them in whole grains. So I've talked a little bit about choosing whole grain brown wholemeal things instead of bleached white things. So when you buy your white bread and your white flour, it didn't start off that colour. It's been bleached. It's been bleached. Horrible. And if you get a slice of white bread and you squidge it up in your hands like that, it basically goes a bit gluey and gunky, and that's basically what they used to make paper mache out of to make the glue in the olden days. It's gloopy, and it's just not as good for your insides as wholemeal and whole grains. Also, iron can be found in pulses, beans, lentils, things like kidney beans. So a good meal that you can chuck kidney beans is chili con carne. Chili con carne, even shove that in the slow cooker, boom. And fruit, figs, dates, apples, raisins. I need to go a bit quicker, otherwise I'll be sat here all afternoon, won't I? And things, if you're not vegetarian, you can also find iron in poultry, tuna, mackerel, trout, bass, eggs and meat. And I've told you before, I think I've mentioned it before on one of the posts I put, that we had salmon for our tea. So pregnant women, it's not recommended that you eat oily fish more than twice a week. And other benefits of things like salmon, mackerel and sardines, we've talked about it before. Omega-3 fatty acids reduce inflammation, helps reduce blood pressure, and protein, vitamin B, vitamins, and that can help protect your brain and your heart health. And also, I didn't know this, but it works with the fatty acids to protect the brain and nervous system from inflammation. An antioxidant called astaxanthin. There you go. Try and say that. So I just think we can't be bothered to eat fish, especially in this country, because it got bones in it and it got like, well, let me tell you, a lot of the fish that I don't buy the full fish with the head on. I buy it easy peasy. So you can buy it already filleted, and you know, all you're doing is taking the skin off a lot of the times, but some people choose to cook the skin on, but I like to take the skin off. So another thing we were talking about, in women take a vitamin D supplement in pregnancy, but you can find vitamin D in salmon, mackerel, oily fish, egg yolks, and mushrooms. Don't know whether I've not seen that before, but I found it somewhere. And folic acid, that's especially important for you. You can find that in folic acid. You can find it in broccoli, Brussels sprouts, spinach. Spinach is so good for everything. Please, will you all send me your pictures of you all eating spinach? I would love that. Love that. We all get a bit carried away with cakes, don't we? But we should be eating more spinach. So spinach is just, and sometimes you gotta just try things and eat things, even if if somebody said to me, would you rather have a dish full of spinach or a Malteser's chocolate egg? I know which one I would really enjoy the most, but sometimes you gotta think, well, I'll just save the chocolate Malteser's egg for weekend, and I need to have more of the green stuff, because you know that it's good for you. Keris, Aldi salmon already seasoned with chili flakes. It is. It's so nice. Do you know where people go wrong with salmon? Because I've had it horrible before. So you shouldn't. I wouldn't eat anything that smells funny. Don't eat it if it smells fishy and horrible. Don't bother. So fresh fish doesn't actually smell of much. That's how you can tell it's really fresh. It doesn't smell horrible. And experiment. You might have to practice a little bit, but you can experiment with cooking times. So we get I think it was an Aldi half a side of salmon. So that was cut up into 4 equal strips, and that does us. And I tell you what, we've started learning that we don't need to eat quite so much food in a portion piled up. You know, that was plenty for all of us. And it went in the oven at 220 for 7 minutes. And that was just so, and you put your fork in it and it just goes, and it just tasted, the texture is so moist and lovely. Pesto on salmon is good. Pesto is lovely. Pesto is a good for loads of things. Hi Margaret. Hi Amy. Good afternoon. So we've gone over some of those things that are really helpful. And by the way, when you're pregnant, we don't want you to go on a diet. Okay? We don't want you going on a diet. And I would say to any woman, do you know what? Don't bother going on a diet. Don't bother going on a diet, because do you know, when I've talked to you about the reticular activating system and whatever you sort of tell your brain to focus on, it focuses. And sometimes, for me anyway, what I find is as soon as I tell myself I can't have anything, the cake's down my neck. So I've done it so many times. I have put weight on before when I've been on a diet, because all I can think of is all the chocolate that I'm not allowed to have. And I have got I might have mentioned it before, I've got a really sweet tooth, because my nana used to feed us loads of sweets when we were kids, bless her. She thought she was doing us a favour. But I've got a really sweet tooth, and I do like chocolate, and I'm not going to stop eating chocolate. But the trick is just to moderate it and make sure you eat the chocolate after you've eaten all the good nutritious food. So I won't go on a diet, because diets don't work for me. What I tell myself is, if you need to lose some weight, Claire, eat more. That might sound really strange, but what I tell myself is, Claire, those scales are tipping a little bit. You need to eat more healthy food. So I don't tell myself I can't. If I can exercise a little bit of willpower, I try to, but I don't stress about it. And So what I did, I talked to you about, I think it was a couple of Fridays ago, I talked to you about that I'd put a little bit of weight on. I like to be 10 stone, and I was crept up to 10 stone 5 because of lockdown and all the rest, bad eating habits and all the rest of it. So I weighed myself this morning, and it's not quite 2 weeks, and I was 10 stone 2 this morning. So I've lost £3 over not quite 2 weeks, and I've not been on a diet. I've tried to eat more food. So I've still had chocolate at the weekend. I've still drunk a few glasses of wine at the weekend. I've had a little bit of bread, but it was wholemeal bread. I've had some biscuits in the afternoon with my coffee. I couldn't resist. So I just thought, well, I'll just try and eat something healthier for my tea. So what I've done is I tell myself, a really good thing to do is do your meal planner for the week, and then you can, I think sometimes when you've got to sit there thinking, you just think, oh, I'm just going to have bacon and chips or whatever, burger and chips, you know. But when you've planned it out on a Sunday for your whole week, you know, I find it a lot easier to plan healthy meals if you go, right, I've got the avocados in, I've got the salmon in, you know, you can chuck it in the freezer if you're having it later on in the week. So why have I been showing you all this food and some of the recipes? The reason that I've shared some of the things where I've been cooking, like the disastrous slow cooking video I showed yesterday morning, was because I just want to show you that I'm no food guru. I'm just watching where the traffic's going. I'm no food guru, and, you know, I don't always eat healthily. I just try to, and I try and rein it in if I think I've just had too much of a good thing, you know. But I'm busy as well, and I get that feeling. What am I going to make for tea? It's such a chore, isn't it? I find it a real chore, but it's got to be done, and, you know, it makes me feel proud of putting something nice on the table for my children and my husband, and it looks like you actually care about them, you know, especially if there's school and work and you've been at work. You deserve a decent meal. So the slow cooker, somebody asked me, I showed you quickly what the slow cooker cookbook was, so I'm going to show you. Can you see that? So that's the cookbook I used for the what was it called? Beef bourguignon, but my husband was slagging it off, saying why it's not beef bourguignon because it's got sweet potatoes in. But I think I'm wondering whether that was supposed to be a substitute for mash. Well, we had mash anyway, as you saw, but I mashed it with the skins on. And so I just wanted to, while I was showing you my book recommendations, I wanted to show you one absolutely magnificent book, really, really educational, and for me, life-changing. Hi, Danielle. How are you? Hi, Sally. So the book recommendations that I've got are what I feel are extremely helpful to educate you or anybody else about food and diet. So it's not a diet book. It's not got the best name, I'm going to tell you. I've recommended this book before, but I found it was like a history of food. So this is what the book is called. So it's called The Obesity Code by Jason Fung. I've bought it hard copy, but I've also listened to it on audio. It's really, I really enjoyed listening to it on audio, and it basically educates you, and it explains about every single diet you can possibly have. But what's really interesting about this is it talks about the implications of money. For example, things like, do you know who said breakfast is the most important meal of the day? Does anybody know? Interesting that it was Mr. Kellogg, it says in this book. And also it explains about things like healthy snacks. healthy snacks were never a thing when I was a kid. My grandma used to say, don't snack in between meals, healthy snacking, you know. And one of the interesting things in this book, it basically tells you that how much money there is in healthy snacks. So I guess the point of that is, if you're looking out for things that are designed to be healthy, look at the label. Look at the label and see how much sugar it's got in there, because you'd be able to tell me. I bet you can make your own healthy snacks that are much better for you for labour. But just be really mindful about sugar content. And that's, I've got that book as well. That's obviously a cookbook. And that's where I got the information from for what nutritional value you get from making a bone broth. Right, where am I at now? So, talking about reducing sugar, I've been talking about herbal teas. Now, I've never, ever liked your normal builder's tea. I don't like the taste of it, and I never have. And when I was a youngster, I didn't used to drink tea or coffee. And what I did like, I thought, everybody has hot drinks. What am I going to have? And do you know what I used to drink? I used to drink lemon tea, that lift stuff, that was full of sugar, hot Vimto and hot Ribena. I remember having hot Ribena in the middle of winter. How lovely. However, there's so much sugar in those things, and there are better things that you can choose. And if you take the time to read this book, you might not fancy it in pregnancy, but you might be interested another time. So one of the things that will tell you about is the problems with artificial sweeteners. So that's really interesting as well. I always used to have a sweetener in my coffee. I thought, it's much healthier than having sugar. So I started having a sweetener, but I don't, now since I've read that book, I don't have a sweetener in my coffee anymore. And do you know what? At first, I hated it. I was not enjoying my coffee. I was drinking it because it was warm and wet in the morning, and I wasn't enjoying it at all. I'm just checking what time it is. It's only 1 o'clock, isn't it? But I just persevered with it. And sugar, you just almost get immune to it. The more you have, the more you need. And it goes the same way if you reduce it. So I reckon now, I'm so used to drinking coffee with no sugar or sweetener, I reckon that I would probably not like it at all with sugar in it. And it's the same with the fruit tea. Anybody who starts off trying fruit tea, most people say they smell so lovely. Rhubarb, berries, summer fruits, blackcurrant, and you smell them and they smell amazing. And then you have a sip of it and it just tastes watery. I've done exactly the same, but you've got to persevere. Please persevere. If you want to drink herbal teas, they get so much nicer. So I don't know how long I've been drinking herbal teas for, on and off in the evening, maybe a few years now. And what I love is finding a new one. I tend to like the fruity ones better than the herby ones like chamomile and peppermint. I'm not so sure about those. But everybody's got a different taste. But I can absolutely assure you that if you persevere with sugar reduction, you do get used to it. And I never believed it was true, but I can honestly, hand on heart, tell you that it's true. You do get used to it. Now, another thing that I've printed off for you is I was looking at resources about healthy diet in pregnancy. And this is from the NHS website. So if you just Google healthy diet in pregnancy, NHS, that should come up. That's got loads and loads of really helpful information. And also what I wanted to tell you about was just to remind you, on your mobile phone, if you're in this trust, if you download that Healthzone UK app, you can then go to Maternity Matters and you can get that on your phone. That's got loads of information. However, the Maternity Matters, or the website that you registered your pregnancy on, you can get the pregnancy book. Now, I've showed you this before. Can you see? So under the maternity section, if you go right to the bottom, there's a section that says useful information, and then you following confirmation of pregnancy, click on that. And I think the web, can you see the website at the bottom? I think the pregnancy book is quite up high near the top, and I think you can download it all in sections. But that book's been knocking about for quite a long time. Obviously it's been updated a lot, and it's absolutely a delight. I love that book because it's got loads of pictures in, it's dead easy to follow. And chapter 5, you'll see who knew all this information was on here. Your health in pregnancy. Do forgive my my rubbish printer, but you can see there at the bottom where it says more information. So it says, for useful information on what you should eat when you're pregnant or trying for a baby, go to that site. So there's that information on there, but I just wanted to read you a couple of things that are highlighted in here. And it says, what should you eat? Basically a variety of different foods. So I think variety is the real spice of life. Just make sure that you're not having too many beige foods. Make sure, keep it colourful. That's a pretty good rule of thumb. Fruit, veg. And one thing to say about the veg is don't boil it until you kill it. Honestly, if it's like, it should have a little, like broccoli should be still quite firm. So boil it as much, just to soften it so you can eat it, but don't have broccoli mush. Horrible. Don't have broccoli mush, because you don't want to zap all the nutrients out of it. And one little tip that we use when we do a Sunday roast, it's usually things like cabbage or broccoli that we boil in a pan. And then instead of just getting rid of the water that we've cooked it in, we usually tip the water into the gravy to make the gravy, so that, you know, even if you're cooking something like red cabbage, you'll see all the colour of the water will go quite purpley, and that's full of those antioxidants. And we use that water, that boiled water, to make the gravy, so you don't lose any of the goodness. So variety of foods, right balance of nutrients that you and your baby need. And you don't need to eat for two. Now, everybody knows this. And on there as well, there's the Eat Well guide, and you'll see the plate thing there that everyone's seen. So fruit and vegetables offer fibre, and it helps digestion and prevents constipation. One of the things I did forget to mention when I was talking about iron is, if you have vitamin C alongside your iron, it helps your body absorb the iron better. So if you're having to take iron tablets, if you have it with an orange. And one of the things that I did want to mention to you about oranges, and you've got to be really, really mindful about fruit juice. So even if it's fresh fruit juice, what the obesity code says is that the problem with having fruit juice is, you might have a glass of fresh orange juice, and that might be 5 oranges worth of juice and the sugar that goes with it. So it's natural sugar, so it's better than refined sugar, but you're still getting that much sugar. If you choose to have an orange, so we would only eat 1 orange. We wouldn't eat 5 oranges. So all straight away you're reducing the amount of sugar. And also what you're missing in the pureed fruit juice drinks is you're missing out on the fibre. So when you peel your orange and you've got all the he's going past me. I think this is a turning round point here, you know. It's busy. Oh no, it's all right, he's just stopped. Maybe he wants to use his phone or something. Yeah, so if you eat an orange, you've got all the flesh and all the stuff that you have to chew. That's fibre, and it's really good for you. So the problem with having a glass of orange juice is you miss out on the fibre that's really good for you, and you're getting so much more sugar. So let's see if I've highlighted anything else. Beans, pulses, fish, egg, meat and other proteins. Proteins include beans, pulses, fish, egg and meat. We've all read that. And one of the other things about diet that is so important, I can't emphasize that enough, you might have guessed, is water. Water. We all need to drink water, and I've got a big finger pointing at me as well. So a lot of us don't drink enough water. I don't drink enough water, and I'm really trying to make see, I was going to have a brew, wasn't I? But I've thrown it all over the floor. Fruit tree, I think, is good because it doesn't have so much sugar and stuff in it. But water is the best. One of the things that's a bit of a nightmare when I go around visiting people and I see massive bottles of Coca-Cola on the side, and that's what they use for their, they've just got used to drinking it and a bit addicted to the amount of sugar in it. But there's a lot of caffeine in Coca-Cola, so that's really not good for you. So I would absolutely avoid Coca-Cola in pregnancy. Well, I'd avoid it at any time. I think it's good for one thing only: cleaning roads and cleaning drains. And that's because it's got acid in it. It's horrible stuff. God knows what it does to your insides. If you drink too much Coca-Cola, you just get bad guts. So apart from being a diuretic, it's full of caffeine, which is a diuretic in Coca-Cola. You shouldn't drink coffee either that's got caffeine in it. And it says here, aim to drink 6 to 8 glasses of fluid every day, water and lower fat milk, teas, decaf coffees. Sugary drinks are one of the main contributors to excess sugar consumption in the UK. This is in your pregnancy book. So it's awful. And I've known people in the past that have wanted to lose weight who've drunk a lot of pop. That's all they gave up. She just gave up drinking fizzy orange, fizzy Coke, and she just lost so much weight by not drinking that sugary, fizzy rubbish. And let me tell you that if you think... Oh, hang on. Where's my OB? Oh, I don't know where my bits and pieces are. I can't find. If you think that the artificial, the no added sugar versions of pop are any better for you, have a read of that. That'll soon put you straight. And jewellery. I don't understand that. Keris, will you elaborate, please? So, sugary drinks, problem. I think that you probably all know the foods to avoid, but it's basically some types of cheeses. So it's things, the blue, runny, veiny cheeses, things like brie, camembert, Danish blue, the things that are not pasteurised. So you can have pasteurised hard cheeses. So if it's pasteurised cheddar cheese, that should be okay. I think Philadelphia, that's pasteurised as well. Things like Hellmann's mayonnaise, that's all pasteurised. You should avoid liver products, pâtés, supplements containing vitamin A, and some types of fish. Some types of fish, I've never met anybody who's actually ate shark, marlin and swordfish. But we've talked about the limits of fish that you should have. Oily fish no more than twice a week, and look, raw shellfish. So just make sure it's well cooked. It says here they can contain harmful bacteria and viruses. And peanuts. So somebody was asking me only yesterday about eating peanuts, and I said it's not on the list of things not to eat. And it says on here, the advice on here, I'll read it to you. If you'd like to eat peanuts or food containing peanuts, such as peanut butter, during pregnancy, you can choose to do so as part of a healthy, balanced diet unless you are allergic to them or your health professional advises you not to. This is different from previous advice on the consumption of peanuts during pregnancy. And right, was there anything else I wanted to read you out in there? So I'll go through those healthy snacks there. But I really wanted to, I had a look further into what resources you can access, and I found this. Right, so this is from the British Nutrition Foundation. And if you look up, that is really quite brilliant, that website. So that's the British Nutrition Foundation, and there's all sorts of information. You can find your way through to some pregnancy information, but I thought it was lovely. It's got all sorts of information about healthy eating. And also, this is a Facebook page, and this is from the British Nutrition Foundation. I've printed it out like that because when you go to the Facebook page, that's what you'll see, that big grey block. But the thing to recognise is the little Facebook thingy-majiggy called Nutrition for Baby. So that's really helpful to follow those because they've got little tips, and it's got little tips on what you should be eating in pregnancy. And I just printed out some information from their website. It says, this is specifically expectant mothers search for food safety advice. So what it's basically telling you is that lots of people are researching food safety information. It says 30% of visitors to the website are looking for food safety information. So, and some are searching for advice on how to ensure a healthy weight during and after pregnancy, followed by 12% seeking facts about alcohol intake. The progress of scientific research means that advice on some areas of food safety for pregnant women has changed in recent years. For example, in 2009, the government revised its guidelines on peanut consumption during pregnancy and breastfeeding. Previously, parents had been cautioned to avoid eating peanuts during these periods if there was a family history of allergy. Now the advice is that parents can choose whether or not to eat foods containing nuts, irrespective of the family's history of allergy, unless the mother herself is allergic or advised to avoid peanuts by her doctor. So that's the same as the little snippet I read you from the pregnancy book. So that again, all that helpful information I got off that website. And I just wanted, so I think we're nearly done. Just wanted to give you some examples. This is in your chapter 5 of the pregnancy book. Healthy snacks, fresh fruit, and I've got some grapes there as well. It says low fat yogurt. I don't buy low fat yogurt. Hummus and vegetable sticks, one of my favourites. So if I get a proper, like lunchtime craving for sugar, because it is addictive and I am addicted, what I'll do, I buy those tubs of hummus, but sometimes we make it. It's pretty simple to make. And I have celery sticks and carrot sticks cut up because I love those. I'm lucky that I like lots of this stuff. And I'll eat loads and loads of those. Eat more. So I eat as much as I want. Celery and carrot sticks. And then I find that I'm not quite as starving. And I might just have some grapes with some plain yogurt. And then after that, I might have a biscuit with my coffee, but instead of having 6 biscuits, I might just have 1 biscuit, So the fact that you're eating more of the other stuff will hopefully mean that you just crave less of the naughty stuff. And unsweetened breakfast cereals or porridge, and porridge is really good for you. And now, what I would like to do is tell you about a little giveaway that I've thought about for you, because I was droning on that much about tea. I splashed out on buying a couple of little packs, 45 sachets in that. It's a bit like a little selection box of tea, isn't it? So I do like those. I think I like collecting them all. So I've got one of those to give away. I think they were 15 quid each. One of those to give away. Give a gift. It's my gift of calm to you. So what I'm asking for in return is the person who can get as many people to donate to my Proud Midwife Facebook Live page. I think I'm up to about 160 quid now. and I'm aiming for £500. So it's to buy things for Delivery Suite. And so what I want you to do is get friends, family. It doesn't have to be a super large amount. Get friends and family to donate to that page, and then message me with the names of the people that you think have donated, and the person that has got the most people to donate. So you don't necessarily have to donate yourself, just get other people to do it for you. So the person that gets the most people to donate to that page, I will wang you your Pukka tea bags. Pukka tea bags. Oh, they're so cute, aren't they? I hope they look as nice as that when they come. My little gift of calm to you, because I'd rather you drink tea than pop. Pop is no good for anybody. And it rots your teeth as well. So I'd really, especially as well, you don't have to just get everyone to donate. You can donate yourself if you want. If you're finding that this content is helpful, or you value any of it, I'd really appreciate you taking the time, just a couple of quid, anything that you can donate. When we all come together and we all look after each other, we can do amazing things. So I just want to raise money so that we can make Delivery Suite a nicer place. So we're thinking projectors and things like that, and I still haven't forgotten about the painting, but I just haven't got back to it at the moment. The last thing I want to share with you is, I'm going to put this up later on, is my latest art project, which is this. You probably saw it on the thing. Let me see. Can you see? Can you see? So it's my husband said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm drawing a vegetable lady." It's not actually a vegetable lady. It's a lady surrounded by fruit and vegetables with a fruit pajamas on and a little lovely heart baby. So what I would love for you to do, I would love for you to print that off when I put it on. I would love to continue to see your foodie pictures, and I'll share them if you're happy for me to do so. I love seeing that, especially when you do cooking with your children. I absolutely warms my heart that you're eating healthily, because it's horrible when people are not well nourished, because there's so much goodness in it for you when you're growing your baby. And one of the things that I was going to do was I was going to try and do a couple of recipes. I've got quite a famous recipe. It's only out of a book, but I've made it a lot of times. My banana and walnut bread. So it has got sugar in it, but I use wholemeal flour, and it's gorgeous. And what I try and do is try and leave the bananas to make sure they're fully ripe, and then I put more bananas in than the recipe says, and a little bit less sugar. So if you want to see me make me banana and walnut bread, let me know. Do a comment, let me know. And there's another one, and it's a Joe Wicks one, and it doesn't have any sugar in it at all. I think it has apples in it and baking soda, something like that. I don't even think it has flour in it. I'll try and find that, but I think I've got a feeling my daughter's nicked off with it and taken it to university. And on this morning, I was watching somebody make guilt-free brownies. That's what it said. It said it does have sugar in it, but it has reduced sugar in it, and what they use, funnily enough, and I was absolutely intrigued. And you'll have to, for this recipe, I would love you to join me on making them and showing me and sharing what you thought of it, because chocolate brownies are proper nice, aren't they? But this chocolate brownie's made with, I think, black-eyed peas or black beans or something like that. So I was intrigued because they reckon it's so gorgeous and so luscious, but I'd like to try it just to see. But that's not bad if it's half the calories, a little bit of a naughty treat. And finally, we're keeping it to an hour again. That's good, isn't it? I can't believe I've been sitting here for an hour. So I just wanted to share with you, next Friday I'm working again, so it'll be from the car. Might not be as long next week, but I think it's Saturday Halloween. So I think Saturday's Halloween. So what I really wanted to do was maybe next week, sometime I'll share with you making pumpkin soup, because a lot of us A lot of us buy the pumpkins for our kids and just wang the insides, and it's too good. Too good. I've been talking too long, excuse me. So pumpkin soup it can be a bit bland. So what I've looked at a few recipes, and the way forward is spicing it up a little bit and adding a few little cheeky extras. So I'm gonna have a go at pumpkin soup and see if we can get you to make some pumpkin soup that actually tastes nice, because I believe it is possible. Get the right stock, and I don't know whether I've told you before. I have. I used to work in a vegetarian restaurant, and I used to make soups every Saturday morning. So let's see if we can knock together some nice pumpkin soup. And Halloween, the one next week, it's going to be a bit fun. It's going to be a bit fun. Hi, Sammy. Hi, Laura. Hi, Lucia. Nice that you all joined me. Oh, it does make me feel like I've got someone with me when I haven't really, in the car. So next week's Friday Live, it's going to be a bit fun. I know a lot of you ladies have already got younger children, or you know people with children, so I'm going to be thinking of some funky little activities to do. I might even, if just one person downloads this and colours it in, or gets the kids to colour it in, I might just do another one. I might do a Halloweeny one. What do you think about that? Would you like a Halloweeny one? Or a positive birth affirmation one, or whatever. Halloweeny one might be nice. But it'd be really nice if I could see some of you colouring them for me and putting them up, and we'll share them. Because, you know, at this strange time, we're in it together. We've got to look after each other, and we've got to find things that we can do to keep motivated, keep our chins up. It's an amazingly special time for you and your baby, and we want you to enjoy your pregnancy. I know it's all a bit weird, and we have to all do these strange things, like me sitting in a car, where normally I would just get a room full of people and talk to you all. So we can't do that. So we just got to find ways to make the best of it, I think. And after Halloween is next Friday is Halloween themed. And the Friday after, I can't remember whether I'm working or not, but I've had an idea for talking to you about other things that you can do to make your pregnancy journey really special. And it'll just be around journaling and keeping memories of your special time in pregnancy. And I'll hopefully share with you some of the things that I've produced in the past for people, but I might need to just contact them to ask for their permission. And I'm going to leave you now, but today is a super special day for me, because my little sister is going into hospital this afternoon for her induction, hopefully. So it's really exciting. Remember how exciting pregnancy is. Remember how amazing are you going to feel when you see that little baby's face, looking at its mummy, loving it so much. It's such a special time. I never want you to forget how special pregnancy is, what a special time it is. COVID or no COVID, COVID's just there. Don't let COVID spoil your beautiful time. We can work around it. We can look after each other, and we're trying our best to look after you. So let us know if there's anything we can do to make your special time any more special, because we really want it to be special for you as well. And with that, I'm going to go and see you later. I'm going to eat my apple now. You take care, and share your lovely recipes with me, and your pictures and your colouring. Grown-ups can do colouring as well. All right, you take care. Have a beautiful weekend. And if the weather's nice, get yourself out for a walk at weekend. You take care. Love you lots.